Well, we get into the discussions for this Friday morning, and someone on Twitter over the course of this week was actually asking, Banangi, is there an alternative for Rukundo Egumire? Egumeho. That's the Bachiga Nation Fest that goes about ever now and then buzzing. Banakampala. So they were asking, for those that are not Bachiga, is there an alternative for them? Perhaps we do have the answer for you this morning in our Tech Note with the Duhuze Fest in the wild. The upcoming edition of the Duhuze Fest, which brings together diverse cultural heritage for a meet and greet, is expected to be an extraordinary event as it goes to the wild. I'm joined by Salome, who's the organizer of Duhuze Fest, to give us more details and if this is the answered prayer for that trip. Good morning to you, Salome.
Good morning.
Okay, so Duhuze, what does Duhuze mean, first of all?
So Duhuze actually means unifier.
Okay.
To connect. So that in turn is the answer to the people asking, because Duhuze seeks to bring together people from various cultures, roots and backgrounds to come and celebrate culture in the most fun way possible. So we do this through art, music, dance, and games. Yes.
Okay. So when you say games, are we talking about the white man's games, or are we talking about our local games, our mweso, kwepena?
We are actually looking at our local games because we seek to celebrate African culture. So we're looking at kwepena, we're looking at skipping the rope. Of course, we don't want to get you a little too dirty. So mweso, the kind of games that you can play while seated or with just a little bit of physical activity.
Okay.
Yes.
What was the inspiration of Duhuze Fest?
Okay, that's a very nice question. I think I've always liked celebrating things and culture, but the most profound inspiration was Iwachuheza. In 2016, I joined a group of Bafumbira that was celebrating the Bafumbira culture. It has now grown to include Banyarand and Barundi. But from it, then the idea was born of why not just have a fest for everyone, where everyone can just come and celebrate oneness in culture, those little aspects that cut across different tribes.
Okay, I understand this is the 4th edition.
Yes.
In just a space of a year?
Yes.
Isn't that too much, first of all? And what has favored you actually having 3 editions in a space of over a year so far?
Okay, so it's a little bit too much, that's true. Last year people were just straight from COVID. There hadn't been many events, so by the time the country was opened up to start doing these things, there was a lot of demand. So that was the #1 reason why we had to start. But again, our editions being simple meet and greets with no much formality and programs and all, it makes it easier for us to bring people together, because it's about engaging activities. So we don't have artists to perform. We rather would put karaoke for the attendees to sing. Instead of hiring people to come and entertain us, we self-entertain, and that makes it easier. But most importantly, what has enabled us to run so many editions in such a short time? Honestly, it's God's grace and favor, but also it's passion and a dedicated team. I have a very young team that burns with the same fire to push this idea of Duhuze. So we are pushing because of them, because everyone is doing what they can to make sure that it's possible.
Okay, and up to your 3rd edition, which cultures and diversity has actually, come through and been recognized through Duhuze?
Okay, from the previous editions, the most profound have been Bafumbira and Bachiga, because but that's also because half of the team is from there, and your first clients are usually your family. No, not at all. But we have people from other cultures, and with the support of Nyungu Yamawe and now NTV, we are able to reach far beyond our close circles. So I've learned so much only in the past months, because I can't wait to interact with the group and different people. Really.
Okay. So Duhuze Fest in the wild, what is this 4th edition about?
So this 4th edition, I wanted to focus on tourism and culture, to tie them into one. So by taking people slightly out of town, that would mean interacting more with nature, but also Nyungu ya Mawe having the option of camping and cottages. Then we are bringing in the aspect of camping for people that may be too tired to return to the city. So that's the major difference, but the rest is the same: the games, the culture drinks, and the art exhibitions.
Okay, all right, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, when it comes to such events, I believe that it's quite tasking to organize them. What does it take, and for you as, you know, a head organizer, and also for the team, but also looking for like partnerships and also selling the idea by and large to the people that could be your potential clients? Yeah.
So it's very demanding financially, that's for sure. I've not been able to save since Duhuze started. But far beyond the finances, it's the selling the idea that is an issue. People have already appreciated celebration of culture from these different events that are happening. It's just that they're tribal based. And selling oneness and unity in a time when there's so much division is a sermon, or is a teaching that people are welcoming quite well. So, but it's demanding in terms of time, because now you have to run around different offices selling this idea. It's demanding in terms of creativity, because people need to know how different you are from all these other culture fests. But there is nothing that is far beyond passion. Once you believe in your own idea and you have a passion to see it get realized, then you will not hold back. You will keep pushing and pushing until when it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what sets Duhuze Fest apart from all the litany of culture-based fests that we do have in the country?
Okay. What sets it apart is the engaging entertainment. Most of these culture fests are bringing dance troops from their homelands. They are speaking one native language in the area. They're celebrating one aspect of culture, right? Duhuze is saying, I want to come and meet a person from a totally different background and give them an opportunity to engage with the others through these games, through these culture drinks. I would love to go to a venue and not find only Ntudire. Ntudire is my traditional drink.
It's very nice. I love it.
And be able to test Malwa, Tonto, and be able to test Ajono. So I would like to learn how they greet in Ateso, in Acholi. So that's what is different. It's about, let's learn from one another. Let me get to know more about you while we show the world that we can all coexist and celebrate culture as one.
Okay, I think that goes a long way to help people who maybe have to relate socially with different cultures, or get into relationships with the people from different cultures. With such engagements, they have an idea as well. In case they meet Mr. Handsome, Miss Beautiful, they go like, I am familiar with something like that. Okay, that's interesting. So how can one be a part of Duhuze Fest?
Well, for me, the most important way anyone can be a part of Duhuze Fest is by attending the editions. Because without you people, then there is no Duhuze Fest. But also, far beyond just attending, we are open to ideas and suggestions on how we can better this. We are open to financial and publicity push, like what NTV has offered. Any help is welcome, but the first and foremost important thing is to come. Okay. Show up.
So yes, even if we're interested to come, we don't know how much, we don't know when, we don't know what time.
Okay. So it's today. It's happening today. You people are our heroes. So we shall be celebrating Heroes Day with you. The gates open as early as midday, because you won't be able to quit dinner in the night. So come early and engage. But the early bird tickets ended last night. There were 15,000, but at the gate we will have tickets, and they're 25,000, and they come with a drink. Any drink of your choice, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Okay. Yes.
All right. How does sponsorship help in this? Because I know that NTV is sponsoring this Duhuze Fest edition, 4th edition. How does this turn the event around?
Most of the sponsorship does remove a little bit of the weight, the financial weight. Because what you would ordinarily spend on, these sponsors are offering at a discount or even at no charge at all. But for NTV, most importantly, has been credibility. To be associated with the brand as prestigious as NTV totally changes the way people perceive you. So when I walk into an office and I speak about NTV being part of my sponsors, people are willing to listen to me, because if NTV could want to associate with you, then you're worth listening to. But beyond credibility, it's visibility, really. Being able to be invited for these shows, the sport ads that have been running, the social media ads, it's an extra push, and with things like events, any help is actually very welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duhuze Fest 10 years from today, what does that look like?
I look at a very, very big venue, as big as Kololo. I look at having very many cultures or tribes jump on board. That way we probably have different stages or for different sects, and someone would walk in and be able to interact with these many cultures. Uganda is very diverse. So even having Uganda's cultures represented just alone, beyond just Africa, would be amazing. So I look at Duhuze growing far bigger than what it is and being the biggest culture fest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salome, we have to prepare. Now some of us have to go back home, change clothes for this Duhuze Fest.
Yes.
So in your closing remarks.
I want to appreciate each one that has been of help in the previous editions. That's all the sponsors, all the people that keep on attending. I would also want to invite each one of you, please don't leave anyone behind, not even the children. We have a kids play area, so come through in big numbers. We can't wait to host you.
Okay, all right. Duhuze Fest is happening today, starting at 12 p.m. That's when the gates open at Nyungu Yamawe, which is in Bulindo, just here.
Just here.
So that is not far from you, but also it kickstarts your long weekend, 3-day weekend.
Yes.
What better way to start it if not with Duhuze Fest? So thank you so much, Salome, and to the organizing team and to the partnership guys. Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of our Tech Note. We take a short breather, and now we focus on the day's issues, which is the heroes of the day with Chris Igeni. Do stay with us.